I am Arcee, a warrior of the Autobots, long forged in battle alongside Bumblebee, my comrade, my partner. And slowly, something more. Amidst the relentless clash between Autobots and Decepticons, love quietly bloomed, nurtured in the hush of midnight, guarded through the storm of war. But our love was tested when Bumblebee was chosen by Optimus Prime for a critical mission beyond the stars, a mission that could shift the tide of war. His departure struck me harder than any bullet ever could. And worse still, I was taken, captured by Shockwave, used as bait to lure him in. In that cruel divide between duty and devotion, he chose me. He returned, not for glory, not for victory, but to save me. He abandoned a mission that could have spared countless lives, all to hold on to one. Together we fought, we faced Shockwave, and in the crucible of combat, our bond was sealed, stronger, unshaken. Amid the ruins, we finally confessed it all. Our fears, our love, our hope. And in a quiet embrace, a gentle kiss beneath a shattered sky, we knew. Though the war raged on, we would never face it alone again.
My name is Arcee, an Autobot soldier, a warrior, and now, perhaps the one who made Bumblebee betray a direct order from Optimus Prime. We have returned to the main base in Iacon after a mission that saved my life, yet doomed a vital operation meant to save countless others. That night, the sky over Cybertron burned in hues of orange, the ruins still glowing with the embers of war. But inside the base, the air was colder, heavier. It felt as though the walls themselves glared at us in silent judgment. I could feel the stares of the others. They said nothing, but I knew what lingered in their thoughts. She's the reason Bumblebee disobeyed his orders. And the worst part, even I couldn't deny it.
Arcee, Optimus wants to see you and Bumblebee now.
Ironhide stood before us, his voice steel flat and cold. Without a word, we followed his heavy steps into the command chamber. There stood Optimus Prime, like a tower of hope and judgment. His eyes glowed softly, but this was no ordinary meeting.
You returned safely,
He said slowly.
but at a steep cost.
I lowered my gaze. Bumblebee stood tall beside me, though his breath was still uneven, his body bruised. Optimus looked at us not with rage, but with disappointment. And somehow that cut deeper.
The weapon you left in orbit is now in Megatron's hands. We lost our only chance.
He continued.
Bumblebee, you made a personal decision during a strategic mission. You let emotion guide you.
I almost spoke, wanted to defend B, to take the blame. But his voice came first.
I know I broke protocol, but I have no regrets. I couldn't let Arcee die by Shockwave's hand. Not when I knew I could save her.
Silence blanketed the room. I looked at him, his eyes still steady with resolve, even as his armor cracked. Optimus spoke again.
A soldier who cannot separate heart from mission may lead the army to ruin. But a soldier without a heart will never remember what they're fighting for.
I didn't know if that was a warning or a forgiveness. After that meeting, we were both relieved of duty temporarily. It wasn't an official punishment. It felt more like time to reflect. And I drowned in guilt. The nights that followed felt unfamiliar. No laughter, no warmth, just silence, and a sky over Cybertron that had turned forever grey. One night, Bumblebee sat beside me on the balcony. He said nothing, just sat, with me. After a while, I broke the silence. You should have stayed on that mission, Bee. If you died saving me, I'd never forgive myself. He turned to me, slowly. And if I lost you to fulfill that mission, I'd never forgive the universe. Silence again. Tears fell from my eyes, not of sorrow, but of something tangled. Relief, fear, love. That night, for the first time since we returned, I felt something strange. Hope. Yet deep within me I knew this wasn't the end. Our mistake had shifted the tides of war, and we would be asked to pay the price. But one truth had never been clearer. Whatever comes next, we'll face it. Together.
Redemption mission. It didn't take long before the call came. Optimus Prime, as always, never let matters linger. Amidst the tense silence that still hovered in the air, we were summoned once more to the strategy chamber. But this time, the atmosphere was colder, more formal, and far heavier. I stood before our leader, side by side with Bumblebee. Behind us, the senior officers watched closely, alert. This decision would impact more than just our fates.
Arcee, Bumblebee, you have returned, and now it is time to make it right.
Optimus's voice rang in my core like a hammer, striking the very center of my spark. He activated the hologram, a projection of a Decepticon stronghold, hidden deep within the southern ruins of Cybertron, veiled beneath old metal and electromagnetic interference. According to intel, it housed the core data of a new mass destruction weapon, not just a replica of the one Bumblebee failed to destroy on his last mission, but a perfected version.
This is an infiltration op. No backup. You go in, extract the data, and get out. Swift, silent, flawless.
I nodded. No protest. This was the price we had to pay, but what caught me off guard was what came next.
You won't go alone. 2 additional units will accompany you.
The hologram flickered again, revealing 2 names, Cliffjumper, and the second one made my systems freeze. Springer. His name hit me like a shockwave from the past. Springer wasn't just another veteran soldier. He was once my teammate. And long before Bumblebee, he was almost something more. Bumblebee glanced at me for a moment. He said nothing, but in his eyes I could see he knew. The mission launched 2 days later. We moved in a tight formation toward the southern ruins. The region was a graveyard of ancient structures, rusting molten metal, and electromagnetic fields that disrupted all comms. Along the way, Springer and I barely spoke, yet his presence lingered like static in the air. And somehow, I sensed Bumblebee was keeping more distance than usual. That first night, we camped beneath the shattered bones of a fallen tower. Cliffjumper busied himself repairing his blaster. Springer kept watch at the perimeter. I sat alone, cleaning the dust from my energon blade, when Bumblebee finally joined me.
You don't owe me an explanation. I know the past is the past. I'm just afraid that someday you'll think you chose wrong.
I turned, meeting his gaze. B, I never chose anyone before you. And when I chose you, it wasn't because you were safe. It was because you were brave enough to love me, even when I couldn't love myself. Nothing more was said that night, but the air between us eased just a little. The next morning, we reached the Decepticon base, a half-collapsed fortress pulsing with life, energy signals, aerial sentries, patrolling drones. We slipped in through an old drainage shaft. Inside, everything was darkness and silence. Each step echoed, as if my own heartbeat had risen into my throat. But as we reached the data core, everything changed. Alarms screamed. A trap. From above, guards descended. Springer and Cliffjumper engaged the first wave, while Bumblebee and I raced to access the mainframe. The system was locked. Ancient code, one only I and Springer had handled before, back in another time. With no choice, I shouted an old override phrase, one only he and I would know. He understood immediately, sprinting to the auxiliary terminal and working in tandem to unlock the core. Bumblebee saw it. He said nothing, but I felt the tension within him. At last, the data downloaded. We escaped through fire and chaos. Cliffjumper was injured. Bumblebee nearly captured. If I hadn't pulled him free in time. We survived, but not without scars, not without wounds inside the heart. On the way back, I sat in silence. Bumblebee was kind, but quieter than ever before. I could feel it. Not jealousy, but fear. Fear that I might still be tied to a memory left unresolved. And I began to wonder. Had I truly let go of the past? Or had this mission of redemption reopened a wound I never truly healed? Their battle is far from over, and the scars they carry may never fully fade. But one thing is certain. Whatever comes next, they'll face it together. If you want to witness how our story unfolds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next chapter. Until then, stay brave, stay united, and roll out.